We about to do a press conference. I think this is gonna be interesting. So what happens when you have this many fighters? Are there more fighters than reporters? That is the question.
Hey.
Nigerian brother.
What you want, Big Will? Trying to catch Triple C slipping?
50K, got the 50K. Media day.
Probably in your pocket, Will. Heard you making big money moves. And this guy right here, I gotta keep my eyes on him, man. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. Barba.
Brother, this guy, he vanilla latte guy. Now we come here, he don't find vanilla latte. That's why his energy go down.
Boom. This is iPhone 11, you know, I have same quality, I think. I don't know. Canon zoom lens, I don't.
This is crazy, man. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. Dominance MMA Media Day. I mean, there's no question the firepower that Ali Abdelaziz, love him or hate him, he's built a hell of a roster. So, man, we're before a UFC event. We're doing a big media day with 3 UFC champions, 4 PFL champions. It's wild, man. I've never seen anything like this. We'll see how it turns out.
I think this is Dominance MMA Media second day. It was like 4 or 5 months ago in LA. I think this one is second. I think this is very good for sport. Here's a lot of champions, UFC champions, PFL champions, a lot UFC contenders. You know, top 15 fighters, and I think this is very good for media, for fighters promote themselves because you know sometimes UFC need do a lot of things, but they have a lot of fighters, you know, and for promote fighters, for people know their history, this is very important press conference like this, because you know when people know someone, you're gonna watch his fight. If you don't know nothing about him, you know, he's not interesting, you know. Like we have, like media have to show the fans, the people who like about his life, you know, where he born, how he grew up, where he trained with who, you know, everything. When you know about some fighter, like history, you're gonna follow him.
Yeah, I love being in the gym, I love training, and I love fighting. And so while I'm still able to do that, I'm gonna do that. So, you know, I'm lucky enough to get Michael Johnson coming up here pretty soon, and I think it's a great fight for me, you know, to come back and really put on those entertaining fights that I used to. So I'm really looking forward to it.
If you look around at some of the best people in the world, you know, some of the most high-profile fighters that I've always looked up to. So to see it from this angle is it's a different perspective, and now to be sitting at the table with these guys is more than grateful, man. I'm honored and I'm proud, you know, of my accomplishments to get here.
Yeah, the coronavirus in Italy is kind of like it spread it out a little bit, but honestly, we just like did more tests than anybody else in Europe. So I feel like we got a little bit like it spread it a little, like it seemed like it spread it a little bit earlier. But I mean, most of everything I think is hurting the economy, and most of everything also like they're shutting down events and stuff. And so I hope everybody that wanted to still come and watch my fights in London will still be able to.
I come here, brother, after 20 hours flight, 6 hours sleep. I just arrived today. I want just to have one Coca-Cola, brother. They say me just water. Brother, I don't know how to survive this press conference. I don't understand. Ali promised me, come, you have eggs, you have cake, you have sweets, you have pancakes, you have waffle. Brother, I come here saying, please, just one diet, even diet. I switched to diet Coke, and they say me, no, only water. What is this?
How do you feel like that's set the tone for your career going forward? Sometimes fighters can get, you know, a little overconfident, and you have a strong team, but how are you feeling about that?
I think it's a great tone, great pace for my career, and I just want to keep continuing to put on performances like that and keep getting better every day, and that's kind of simple as that.
And lastly, back to Bilal, you're pretty popular on fight day with the pigs. How does that go for you on the personal side? People pull you aside and get good or bad?
As you can see, man, big events. That's what we do over here in Dominance. Nothing but big events. You know, got my brother's back. Razak is back.
African power.
Hey,
African power.
Exactly.
Like it, don't like it, or go, you know what?
They know how he get down. You know, but we back. We thank God. You know, sometimes we learn lessons, you know, the hard way, but that's over and done with. God is in our corner, and now he gets to go out there and do what he's been doing. You know, I know people when he come through, people.
There's so much frustration that I want to put on somebody so bad. I just need to get in there. I cannot wait.
What is the biggest thing you feel like you just missed overall about the fight game since you've been around?
Oh, the nerves and the excitement. You know, knowing that you want to, like, I don't know how to put it, but to put a hole in somebody's face, I miss it, and I cannot wait to get back in there, brother. I cannot wait. It's been too long.
What do you feel like? You feel like you're getting the recognition that you deserve, or the respect you deserve in the division?
I think I'm getting the respect from the fighters because the ranked guys are afraid to fight me. So I know that they're saying no, and I know that they don't want this fight, and I'm a tough fight for anybody in the division. So for me, like you said, I won 6 out of my last 7. It's just staying on the same road, staying on the same mindset of just winning whatever fights in front of me. I'm not one of those guys that like picks and chooses who I'm supposed to fight. Like when they call, I'm gonna say yeah, no matter what. So I don't care who it is.
It's very unique to see these many talented guys with this much talent, with this much background and so much history. All of them coming from different places around the world and being able to get together and just be a family and train together and spend time together. This is very unique. It's very unique in this sport. I don't think we appreciate it enough what Dominance MMA is doing in this sport. It's definitely something unique that we do not see anywhere else. In our the last press conference we had guys like Henry Cejudo and Marlon Moraes, guys who fought each other, actually sitting at the same table having dinner together and bringing that family atmosphere. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's going to help the sport a lot for everybody to see that there's actually more to this sport than just guys trying to knock the crap out of each other. It's actually guys who, human beings, family men, good people getting together and doing some work together.
You know what my father said? If you don't know how to dance, don't know dance. You understand? If you don't know, now you know.
Okay. Henry Cejudo have a lot of gold. He gave me 1 gold.
Is that better?
I need one more. I need one more. That's not enough for me. I need one more.
What's up, guys? Again, I just want to say thank you again for coming out. And, it's kind of surreal to see all this hardware out there and all these guys, some of the top guys that ever did the sports, Khabib, Gayla, Henry, Justin, Lance, all these guys up there, is like, I believe it's 9 built up there. And it's kind of, me looking at them is making my eyes hurt. And I kind of, very much, you can go ahead and ask questions.
Thanks, Justin. Lastly, for me, I wanted to ask Marlon. I know we're going to keep this friendly today. We're all on the same team. I did want to ask you what you think about Henry's decision to face Jose Aldo. I mean, that's a fight that you just won. Now you've got to fight, Peter Yan. What did you think about it, Henry's decision? It was controversy to say the least. What did you think about it?
First of all, thank you, Ali, be here, and pleasure be with all those champions right here, all these great fighters. And I think it's a smart decision, Henry is his position, he's the champion, he won 2 belts. He gave up the flyweight division and he picked a good fight, a good opponent for him. Aldo's a legend, and we'll see what happened, but I think he was smart.
My last 3 opponents, Demetrius Johnson, probably the greatest MMA fighter of all time, beat him. Second was TJ Dillashaw, man, the guy that was on EPO, the greatest bantamweight of all time, beat him. And then the killer back here, man, has been knocking people out. And his last 3 opponents, he knocked down the first round. Guys, Peter Yan, he fought a 41-year-old retired skateboarder. Aljamain Sterling, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me the name, I deserve the name. And it was a close fight with him, with Marlon and Aldo. Man, Aldo's he's a legend.
First of all, thank you guys all for coming. And of course, my brother Ali for putting this together. But guys, there's really no clear-cut guy. If you want to Like, we get in this sport to prove that we are the best at it. You know, you want to fight the best guy, which is why Khabib chose to go with Tony. He feels like that's a guy that deserved that fight. You know, if you really look at that, I think the guys fighting for the #1 contender are fighting what, like this month, March. You know, Leon Edwards is fighting Tyron Woodley. Those guys are fighting for the #1 contender spot. You know, this is a fight that, you know, of course I want to fight Masvidal. There's a lot of hype on that because, you know, I need that. I'm trying to get paid too. You know, I'm trying to ride into something nice. So, of course I want that fight. But guys, you know, how is he the #1 contender?
How many more years, man, do you think that we got left to see you fight? Do you want to go 35-0, 30-0?
You tired with me?
Never.
I know when someone stay on top long time, people just want to see how he fell down, you know? It's like, because it's very interesting, you know, how we're gonna fall down, like everything, like how we crash. This is interesting, I know, but about my retirement, I don't know, honestly, because I'm only 31 years old. Right now is my prime time.
You know, I didn't have to retire. I retired on my own. The other ones that retired and came back, they needed to retire and stay retired the first time. I guess they thought they had a little bit left in the tank. Hopefully that's not me whenever I come back. But I don't know, man, whenever you feel like you still got it, or you still feel like you have something to prove, you're willing to go out there and sacrifice your life pretty much to go out there and prove it.
It's crazy that all these guys are under the Dominance MMA umbrella. You know, so much talent here. And yeah, so doing stuff like this is huge because there's times where a lot of these guys, that like these champions, they'll always, you know, get their spot. You know, the media wants to talk to them. But then the group we had before, the up and coming guys like myself that, you know, are gonna be on like an injury hiatus. Guys like Todd Duffy or the Puna Sorianos, Dan Ige. You know, it gives those guys a spotlight, and you saw it. The media had questions for them. You know, they wanted to hear from them. They wanted to know, like, where have you been? You know, how are you doing? What's next? So I think something like this is great. You know, Ali did it the first time around in California, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out there. I had some prior obligations, but stoked to be a part of this one. You know, this is super cool to see, super cool to be a part of, and it only helps us grow as fighters. It's only gonna be better for the sport, so all around win.
At the end of the day, we fight, we get in a cage, we lock the door behind each other, and we try to kill people. But what you have here, like, it's a very lonely world at the top, but Ali somehow finds a way to make it a little less lonely, you know? Like, I feel a camaraderie here and brotherhood, even though I'm not a guy, with all these guys. I mean, not a lot of people know what it's like to climb to the top of the mountain, so when you're surrounded by people who do, it feels good.
There's no other management companies who hold their own media day and have this much of this much media here, and it gives us all a platform to be able to speak and kind of get our faces in front of the camera and say what we want to say. So a lot of people don't get to do that. That's what's special about it.
UFC put on a press conference yesterday. Ali Abdelaziz got brought up like 4 or 5 times. I don't know. He's a superstar, you know, because of the person that he is. A lot of times you guys are never going to hear, you know, who he actually is. As a manager, you know, he's loyal to us and we are loyal to him. You see the stable of guys he has up there. That does not happen by accident. When I fought Cowboy, he knew I wasn't happy with the fight, and so he called me and said, "You're fighting Cowboy, and I'm not going to take $1 from you." And he did not take $1 from me because he's a man of his word. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to talk shit about this man, and you know, if they were to walk in here, he's the safest man in this place right now.
You know, I think what Ali's doing here is unprecedented, and there's definitely going to be a lot of people that are going to try to follow suit and bite off Dominance MMA. You know, obviously I've been with Ali forever, and I'm just proud of him and seeing how far he's come. And you know, it's cool to be able to mix it up with, you know, such good fighters, such guys that are, you know, heralding the sport, champions. And yeah, man, you know, we're all competitors. We're all in this for the same thing. We all want the same thing, but we kind of all understand each other because of that. And you know, we can push aside a stupid little beef or stupid little competitiveness for for something like this. And man, it's I'm just glad I get to be a part of this with Ali. You know, me and Ali, we used to travel the world, or the country at least, you know, in these little rinky-dink gyms, doing seminars here and there, appearances here and there, and now look at this guy's putting on these big events. So it's going to be cool. Even, you know, my career is obviously, I don't want to say it's coming to an end, but the end is obviously imminent, you know. You can only fight so long, so I look forward to helping Ali on the business end when it's all said and done as well.
And it was a great turnout. You know, we probably did all this that you see here in under a week. It was just pretty much nonstop dedication, hustling to get everything done. There's a lot that went into this as far as like the logistics and diagnostics and getting all the media members here, getting the catering set up, getting the stage set up, getting the mics set up. So it's like there's a lot of work that you don't see that went into this event, and I think it was a very successful event, very successful turnout, and it's an awesome historic moment. You know, no one else in the game is doing this. We're doing this, so we're making the investment in our fighters, and you know that's why we're on the top. We're a different level.
Hey, I gotta tell you something. First of all, I learned a lot about Khabib today. I've been covering boxing for 11 years. Everybody knows his image in the media is that he's always dead serious. Khabib is serious. Today, he sense of humor, cracking jokes, and he knows his boxing. I was very impressed when he said he wants to see Usyk against Fury. I was impressed when he said about Lomachenko and Canelo. He pays attention to stuff, and sometimes don't believe the image of athletes that other media, the room's full of media, you can show them here, look, full of media, they're gonna put out an image that they want to show, but that's not him. So if I say it's like to compare to Kobe Bryant, there was the Black Mamba on the court, and then there was Kobe the person, there's Khabib the fighter, and then there's Khabib the person, and he has a great sense of humor. I learned something new today.
I have one more question for Khabib. Which is better, judo or wrestling?
Judo is much better, brother. Judo. Hey, you know what interesting? This is not my belt. This is his belt. I don't know where's my belt. Because people always ask me, hey, where's your belt? Why I need belt? I am here.
Yes.
You know,
this behind my couch like 2 weeks.
You know,
Bro.
hey.
See, I'm different. I'm different, big boy.
I make looking good my belt, but to his two belts make him look good. You understand? This is two difference between me and Henry Cejudo.
I got so much gold that I'm letting him borrow my belt, man. And he don't got one of these either.
I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, everybody here is jealous, but I can't hang out with nobody else. She's a two-time Olympic champion and have an Olympic champ.
one here,
Even Henry, Khabib, all those guys, like he can't really mess.
What's the hardest thing a human
become judo Olympic champion?
I'm asking you. From all the sports that you know, what's the hardest thing a human being could do in sports? I can tell you right now, Khabib, with 2 belts, it ain't this.
You control dudes on the ground so good, but in freestyle you don't have to control anybody on the ground.
Brother,
is that from Samba? You know what I mean? I'm not talking about comparing. No, I'm not comparing. I'm not talking about you. I'm answering a totally different question.
If I have chance to take like judo Olympic gold medal or freestyle, please. For judo. Wow. Yes, brother. Hey, I'm from Dagestan. I love freestyle wrestling, but judo is different level. Everybody love freestyle wrestling, but judo, you have to. Okay, we talk about Dagestan, 3 million, but what about 7 billion people? They love judo. Judo is like different. 176 countries compete in Olympic Games. Judo, freestyle wrestling. 54 or 56.
What's the hardest sport? There you go. Look at Khabib. Look at Khabib.
I'm gonna throw you on it. I wanna see what's hard.
There's no way. Natal, gosto muito de você, cara. Mas, cara, é diferente.
Like we don't know.
Wrestling hard because judo like 5 minutes, nobody tired.
It has to be wrestling because if you really get down to the bottom of it, there's no handicaps. There's nothing that can help you. Judo is tough as shit, but you got the gi.
College wrestling. I'm glad I did it, but I'm glad it's over. That shit was ridiculous. Never an easy match. Never.
Who is the greatest combat athlete of all time?
Yes, Olympic champion. Yes, I agree. Right now,
so everybody takes that as a joke, but dude, facts are facts, man. Bend the knee.
But this is, please, you have time, brother. You have, like, you only 50 years old, please. Let's go, brother. Olympic Games, take the medal, brother.
You see that? Christians and Muslims, man. You see me shake hands.
Actually, no one can pull off what you did. You're the only one.
Gotta go people
You're the
around.
only one.
Gotta go people around. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's perfect. What is that? Amazing. He doesn't take the credit for it. You see, he's hiding. He knew the camera. You knew we're on him, so he purposely turned around so you wouldn't film him. He did that on purpose. Yeah.
What time is it, brother? It's 105. 105 or Khabib time?
Huh?
Khabib time.
It's not Khabib time yet. It's not Khabib time yet, brother.
Why, brother? It's coming,
not
please.
Yet, not yet, brother.
Tell camera.
Not yet, brother. It's not Khabib time yet. It's not Khabib
Why,
time
brother?
Yet. Brother.
Okay,
it's
April.
The storm has to come.
Okay.
When the storm comes, then it's Khabib time, brother. Right now.
Sign us out, Khabib.
Yeah, it's good, brother. Finally, brother. Finish all media day in Vegas. Go home, rest a little bit, and jump. Finish my training camp, brother. Bam.